Next to Media Watch, and Deeptika Laurent joins me in the studio. Good to see you, Deepti. And today you're looking at what people are calling Bayrou Gate, a spat between President-elect Emmanuel Macron and the centrist veteran politician François Bayrou. You could say that the bromance between the two is dead.
You might say that.
It's over.
That's right. You might get that impression if you read some of the French press today, Rochelle. Emmanuel Macron hasn't even been inaugurated yet, and already he's facing an uphill battle with Bayrou, one of his staunchest supporters. Bayrou abandoned his own electoral campaign to back Macron, and now it's sort of turned to a psychodrama, you might say, at least according to Le Point, which is a weekly paper here in France. The dispute stems out of Macron's list of parliamentary candidates for June's elections. Bayrou says his party, which is called Modem, is not represented enough in this list. He was expecting around 113 seats or candidates. In the end, he only got 35 for the moment. Bayrou has accused Macron of being unprofessional and disloyal. And for Macron, it's really one of his first tests, at least according to Bloomberg, in transforming his movement into a political party, which is certainly no easy feat. According to the French media, though, Emmanuel Macron admitted to Bayrou in a phone conversation that his team screwed up or they went rogue, which in itself is quite worrying because if it's true, it would show that the new president doesn't really have a lot of control over his young team. On Twitter, though, people have been coming to Macron's defense. This user says, Bayrou makes me think of those white Scrabble letters. They have no real value, but they're useful for plugging all the holes.
Ouch.
Quite stinging tweet there. This user has tweeted a meme, I guess, of what Macron was, his reaction when Bayrou came to ask for his 113 seats. And you have this tweet, which is a cartoon, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay, well, Macron will be inaugurated this Sunday, and many cartoonists are reflecting on François Hollande's 5 years in power. Tell us more.
That's right. Look at this cartoon here. You have Hollande telling Macron, I'm going to leave you my official vehicles, and you have a pedal boat and a scooter, of course, a scooter in reference to that famous morning riding. That's right, with a black helmet. Delivering croissants.
Will he give will he give him the croissant as well?
That remains to be seen. Hopefully Macron won't find himself in such a situation during his 5 years. Here's another cartoon. This cartoonist sums up Hollande's 5 years. He was the president of change, but physical change, the change as we see him getting more and more overweight.
Oh.
Also a little stinging. And finally, you have this cartoon where you have Hollande telling Macron, here, you don't have to inherit all of the things that made up my legacy. We see that black helmet once again, rising unemployment and an umbrella in reference to the bad weather that accompanies Hollande all the time.
Oh, okay, well, moving on to the US now, and the CNN anchor Anderson Cooper has been accused of sexism by Donald Trump's advisor, Kellyanne Conway.
That's right. Conway has said that Anderson Cooper was being sexist when he made the mother of all eye rolls that went viral this week. It was during an interview when he was interviewing Conway over the firing of James Comey, the FBI director. She was defending Trump. This was Anderson Cooper's reaction. So now she said he was being sexist towards her. But really, Rochelle, it's put once again the spotlight on this liberal-conservative divide that we see being played out on Twitter. This user says Anderson Cooper was pompous. He should have stayed classy. While another user says it's disrespectful towards the conservatives and clearly unprofessional. But you do have some who do come to his defense. Let's show you this picture. This person has tweeted a picture saying sometimes you just can't be responsible for the way your face reacts when someone's talking to you.
Natural reaction. I mean, us news anchors, we're not robots. Finally, Deepti, let's end on a story that's a bit more gender-friendly, shall we say. This is about a youth girls football team that has won a local boys tournament.
It's a wonderful story coming out of Spain. IEM Lleida, a girls football team. I think they're teenagers, 14, 15. Well, they faced abuse from the sidelines. They were called princesses by one referee during a match, yet they have the last laugh because this girls' football team has just won a competition that's exclusively between male teams. They just to give you some stats, they lost once in 22 games, and the top scorer, Andrea Gomez, netted 38 goals. And the girls were declared champions 4 games before the end of season. So I think it's safe to say that they totally killed that competition.
Deserve it.
And they've just launched an online fundraiser to raise some money because they don't have sponsors yet. Let's hoping this kind of petition will help them.
Okay, well done, girls. Deep Tea, thank you so much for that. Deep Tea Laurent there with Media Watch.